Can you introduce yourself for the viewer?
Alright, my name is Mamat. Okay, so I used to be a Flairbartender back in the days about good 20 years ago, and I have left the trade, and now I open up my own company called VIV Associates, helping the people out there who are facing with debt problems.
Can you share with us how did you first started with Flairbartending?
Wow, I think not much people are aware that before I go into Flairbartending, I was once a banquet waiter actually. So I started off when I was in Sec 3, Sec 4. Yeah, so that's where I've been exposed into food and beverage industry. So I started off as a banquet waiter. So I work in this hotel called Sheraton Towers, if you can still remember, somewhere in the Scots Roads. So that's where I was exposed into F&B. Then before I go into Flairbartending, okay, because back then come in a very low income family. So basically the whole objective is basically I want to earn extra income for myself while schooling, because to support my own school stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, then during that point of time, I was stationed in this lobby lounge. Foreigners order this drink called Singapore Sling. I got no idea what it's all about. So when I placed the order, then I give to the bartender. Then I say to the bartender, this couple ordered Singapore Sling. Then I told him, wow, Singapore had a drink. So that's where I started to understand what is bartending is all about. But I'm still not, keen to explore into that yet, until I left my school, Sec 4, go into ITE back then. But the thing is, because I don't really love the subject, I don't really like it. So that's the reason why I tell my mom that I decided to leave school. So that's the time that I think I decided to explore into F&B, because I don't have a high qualification. That's number one. Number two, I don't know what to do, honestly, because that is my comfort zone during that point of time, because I have experience, So that's I thought, okay, why not just give it a try? Okay, so I started off in this place called Venom. Okay, I started off as a waiter. Alright, so that's the time that I was exposed into a lot of things. Flairbartending, nightlife, people. You meet a lot of people with a different kind of intention, without you realizing it. So that's where so that's where I think I decided to explore into Flairbartending. Yeah, so yeah.
Where's Venom?
Oh, Venom.
What is it today?
Okay, Venom, back then it was a dance club. Okay, it was a dance club. It's located somewhere in Pacific Plaza, if I can remember correctly, right on top of the building. It's something like a penthouse. Yeah. So back in the days, well, it was a hot dance club. Everybody want to be there. Everybody want to be seen over there, because it was so-called like a prime club. Because we have a lot of nights like like a gay night, lesbian night. Fashion night, a lot of things was happening. So that's where I seen a lot of activities, and I find it back then it was wow, it's a big thing for me, So yeah, it's located somewhere in Scots Road. Yeah, but I think now the place has shut down.
So,
yeah.
Was it called China Black after that?
Oh yeah, correct. It's the same place. I think the club ran for a good 4 or 5 years, I think, about there, 4 to 5 years. Then things doesn't work out. Then a new brand come in place to take over the whole entire place, called China Black. So after that on, I don't know what's happened, because I really left the place. Yeah. Okay.
So can you tell us the difference between bartending in general and Flairbartending? What's the difference? As audience,
right?
You won't tend to understand this term. So could you explain?
Okay, Flairbartending for me personally, there's no difference actually. Okay, end of the night, we still serve the drinks to our guests. Alright, so for me, what makes you different as a flair bartending, just that you do a little bit of action. Okay, basically at that point of time, just to catch my guests' attention, you know. But during back then when I was in Venom, I saw a couple of people in there, especially one of the legend, Irman Asnadi. So he's the man, he's the guy that really caught my attention back then. So a very short, skinny guy, you know, then very soft-spoken guy. And when I see the first time he flipped the glass, I was like, whoa, you know, wow, this is something that I would like. Wow, how do you do that and stuff like that? So that's where, I mean, it's a lot of difference. I mean, not much of difference back then. Flair bartending and bartending, basically, end of the night, we still serve drinks to our guests, and yeah, so I think not much of a difference lah. Yeah.
How many times have you earned the title as a champion so far?
Locally? Okay. Okay, locally I've won I think 10, 11, 12. But Asian I have achieved maybe about 4 to 5. Alright, and globally I don't really manage to get the world champion, but however I managed to get in the final lah. You know, because when you go into globally, it's a different kind of game really, you know. So yeah.
So around which year, all these things took place?
Alright, so it started off in the year of 2001. That was the time that I finished my national service. Alright, so that's the time that I turned 21, and that's the time that yeah, things happened for me. Yeah, so because during my NS days, I did mention to you, you know, because before I went into NS, I was working in this place called Venom and a couple of FMBs. So that's where after I was enlisted to national service, I was still engrossed about flair bartending. So by good 2 years, I was training. So when I finished my national service at the age of 21, so that's the time I blossomed, I should say. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this. It's quite a very serious question.
Okay.
Okay, bartending job as a career was quoted like a negative job back then.
Back then, okay.
And what do you feel about it?
Well, yeah, because especially being a Muslim, is you know, being a Malay Muslim in the F&B trade, you will get this question from your guests. You know, they will say, "Hey, you are Malay? Are you a Muslim?" "Yes, I am." "So you can work behind the bar? You know, so can you drink?" You know, that kind of thing. I will get this kind of question most of the time. You know, so during back then, yeah, the job is so-called like, you know, give you a negative remarks to some. Okay, but for me back then, and thank God that I have my fullest support from my mother, even though she don't know what I'm doing, you know. But what she know that I'm working in FM industry, serve food and drinks, but she don't know that I'm serving alcohol, you know. So I managed to sneak at that point of time. So I don't know, because at that point of time, I feel I don't really get close to my how should I say, to my cousins and stuff like that, because I think most of I even met my uncle when I was working in the bar, you know. So you know, that point of time I was like, okay, you know. But the remarks, I don't know, man, because that point of time I feel it's just between me and him. You know, whatever I want to do at that point of time, or maybe this is part and parcel, I mean, this is what has been written, you know, what I supposed to do at that point of time. So for me, it's just between me and him. Okay, so what I'm gonna do at that point of time, it's just between me and him. But I was enjoying my life back then, because to be honest with you, I do not have high education, as I did mention earlier. But at that point of time, that is the only thing that I can do, you know, to just get income or sustain my life. Yeah.
How you manage to convince your parents that it's a job?
The reason why I'm into this trade or industry, the whole objective is I just want to earn salary. You know, so I don't have anything to be like number one or to earn this, to earn that, nothing at all. So the whole objective when I entering this industry is all about money. Yeah, because just to sustain my life, because I see my friends that have things that I don't. because my mom is a sole breadwinner when I was young, because my dad passed on when I was at 3. So it's totally different thing of my life. So when I see my friend got this, got that, but I don't, so I decided to, I think I need to do something about it. Yeah. So honestly, to answer your question, I don't really convince my parents, because I always take this. My parents say, if you never steal, if you never sell drugs, just do it, whatever you do. But please, whatever you do, don't get caught or don't get into trouble, or whatever it is. Yeah. But thank God, with all her prayers, I didn't go into to that, So yeah, yeah.
Okay, following to the next question.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not put the word passion, but what made you stay strong for decades in the industry?
Honestly, when I started off this industry, I don't have passion at all. I don't have. Honestly, I came in clueless into the trade. I don't know what to expect. I don't know anything, to be honest. So when I started off from a banquet waiter, then started off from a server, then slowly I started off into the bar scene. So back then I got no passion. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I didn't also foresee that, I'm going to this bar scene, I want to become number 1. No, I don't have all that.
You have been claimed a legend. Everywhere you see in YouTube.
Okay.
People call you Mamat.
Yeah.
It's the number 1.
Right.
Okay, so have you ever thought about it, like now, what do you have to say about it?
Okay, to be honest with you, I didn't claim that for being a legend. I never claimed that before. But I think because of the competition I went back then, I think because of the competition called Legends of Bartending, so I managed to pull through that competition. So I think maybe because of that, people call me legend. I'm not too sure, but I've never claimed any of that before. So, but thank God, during my journey during the bartending days, I make a lot of friends. I meet a lot of people that want to become my friends, and I want to become their friends. That kind of stuff. So it's an honor. It's an honor to be called legend. But I hope I contribute, as I do contribute a lot during my days back then. I hope until people give me this brand or call me as a legend. So yeah, I never foresee anything, but yeah, thankful for that.
Can you share with us some of your experiences in all these countries that you went through to compete?
Okay. Yeah, I travel around the world representing Singapore, compete. The best experience, of course, the place that everybody want to go, especially bartenders, Las Vegas. So I was given a chance, an opportunity to be there, a couple of times. In fact, I think about a good 5 to 6 times. Okay, so that was my best experience ever. Why? Because at the age of 21, I managed to go to Vegas. Then I managed to I managed to go to Italy and Europe country at the age of 21, 22, 23. So I think that was my best experience, because I believe at the age of 21, not much people have experienced this. So when I went there in Vegas for the very first time, it was mind-blowing, eye-opener for me, because the lifestyle as a bartender back in US and Singapore, it's totally far off. People appreciate them when they are behind the bar, whereby in Singapore, people do appreciate you, but not as much as in the Europe country or US. So when I went there for the first time, I see how the way they work, the way they communicate with their guests, the atmosphere that they bring behind the bar. I learned that. Whenever I go to overseas, I captured all this moment. I bring back that experience to Singapore. So I bring that vibe to Singapore. So and it's nice to see, after I bring that vibe, I see a couple of bars have changed.
How do you cope with relationship during that era? Because we know bartenders are bad boys, known as the bad boys back then.
Wow, this is very interesting question. Okay, honest, back then during my time when I was bartending, honestly, I was not into relationship. Why? Because I was building my career, honestly. All right. Yes, I met a couple of ladies out there, you know, date me out, you know, or maybe I date her out. Okay. So, but relationship was not really my thing back then, because I was focusing on my career. I love to travel, you know, because I got the opportunity to travel without paying any single cent. Everything all been covered or paid for, you know. So, what I don't really focus on my relationship, and if I do, it won't last long.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, okay. When you were in this kind of environment or in this kind of place, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know, it's everywhere. You know, it's everywhere. So, and thank God I was too focused on my career, and I don't really go into that direction, you know. So, but I've seen a couple of my friends, you know, that was into that path, you know, that I saw that they were caught right in front of my eyes, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, this kind of, when you are in this kind of environment, you can't skip lah, you know, you can't skip in this. You will see this kind of thing happening in front of your eyes, but you have a choice whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it. I leave it up to you. But thank God, I think my mom prayers was very strong.
We've heard that bartenders always came back home rich, extra rich, every weekend.
Okay.
So what is this magic term is called?
Okay. In terms of people, we say, wow, why you guys earn so much, and where do you guys get this money? Okay, to all the you know, oh my God, I can't believe I have to go through this.
How did you manage to juggle your faith and put yourself in the nightlife industry?
That point of time, honestly, I was living my life. Okay, I was living my life. I never feel that he's there watching me, or he's there, you know, taking care of me, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not easy, but during that point of time, I don't feel anything, honestly. I don't feel anything because I think because everything was good for me until the day when I fall.
Can you tell more about what you are doing currently?
Oh, okay. Alright, so as you guys know, I had left the trade, but during the transition period, it's not easy. Definitely it's not easy. The trade that I am today, it's basically, I feel so heartwarming because why? I managed to save someone's life, you know. So it's something that I never thought of before, you know. So yeah, so that's the reason why I decided to do this as a career. And Alhamdulillah, I mean, I just opened up my own. We call it VIV Associates, I think about a good 3 months ago. So me and my partners, and we decided to open up this basically with a lot of reason. Okay, number one is basically to save jobs. Why? Because at this point of time, during pandemic, COVID-19 and stuff like that, a lot of people lose their job, you know, unstable job and stuff like that. So we decided to open up this to give someone a job. Alright, then in the same time, we are helping the community to solve their debt solution. Basically, Flairbartending had died.